In Tennessee, you could pay child support even if you don't have a child. Welcome to the Rob Lett Show. I'm your host, Rob Lett. We call these segments Soapbox News. They're current events I felt compelled to get on my soapbox about, but it's also your chance to get on your soapbox in our comment section. Tennessee has a new drunk driving law. That's the focus of today's Soapbox News. Well, I'm broadcasting from Colorado today. It's actually not as cold here as it was in Ohio when I was there a couple of weeks ago, but there's definitely more snow and more ice here. There's not a lot to unpack here today. I really just wanted to get your opinion on something. On Monday, February 28th, Tennessee passed a new drunk driving law that says if you happen to kill an adult who had children while driving drunk, you could pay child support. But before we get started, I'd like you to go ahead and do a few things. First of all, like this video, subscribe to it. If you're on YouTube, to the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a bell. That's a notifications bell. Click it, and it'll notify you the next time we release a new show. If you're on Rumble, though, to the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a share button. Click it, and it'll share this video with a friend of yours who should have been here today. Go ahead and do all of those things that apply right now. I noticed in my news feed that on Monday, February 28th, Tennessee had a bill that passed the House that says if you're driving drunk and you happen to kill a person that has children, you'll now be obligated to pay child support for that child until they're 18 and graduates from high school. When I read that, I said, wow, is this for real? I tracked it down, and it certainly is. So far, though, the only places I could find covering this is Channel 9, Newsweek, and now me.
A new Tennessee bill increases the punishment for people who drink and drive and leave children without their parents.
A News Channel 9's Brianna Idzior shows us how this bill can help families, but also can increase unpaid legal fees.
Some choices have consequences that can affect people for the rest of their lives.
It's very hard.
Drivers take major risks when getting behind the wheel while drunk, and a new Tennessee bill could mean greater financial consequences if the driver kills the parent of a minor.
So on April the 13th of 2021, a drunk driver killed my 30-year-old son, Cordell, 25-year-old daughter-in-law-to-be, Lacey, and 4-month-old grandson.
This unexpected tragedy happened in Missouri. Cecilia Williams' son Cordell left behind several other children, including his eldest, 5-year-old Bentley.
They didn't ask for that. They didn't ask to lose their parents.
Cecilia came up with the idea for Bentleys Law that would require a person convicted of killing a parent as a result of intoxication to pay child support for the surviving children until they're 18.
They will always remember, this is what I did to that family, and it will sink into them. I can't do this again. I'm supporting children that aren't mine.
Chattanooga attorney Jake Hennemer says this bill is a great idea. That is, if the money is actually paid.
Collectability is a very real problem, and predominantly the ones that cause the vehicular homicides, most of them don't have the means to pay the damages that they cause.
Cecilia's cousin Diane lives in Cleveland and decided to bring this bill to Tennessee.
It's really just a great law, and it should be nationwide.
State Representative Mark Hall sponsored the bill, and on Monday, it passed the House unanimously.
Well, it definitely sends a message that drunk driving in the state of Tennessee is no longer tolerated.
Reporting in Chattanooga, I'm Brianna Idzior.
Now that the bill has made its way through the House, it's ready for transmission to the Senate.
The informal name of this bill is called Bentleys Law, named after the oldest surviving child of the deceased couple. Its formal name is HB 1834, sponsored by Mike Hill and Mike Henderson. I'd love to hear your opinion of this bill in our comments section. My first impression of the bill is I like it. It is so irresponsible to drink and then get behind the wheel of a vehicle, especially nowadays when rideshare companies are everywhere. You don't even need to have a designated driver with you. Just pay a couple of bucks for someone to take you home. Either pay a few bucks now or a lot of bucks later for 18 years. But I try to be that person who thinks things through as opposed to just jumping on something because it sounds great. Now that this will soon be the law in Tennessee, their goal is to take the Bentley Law national. So we may as well have this discussion now because it passed unanimously in Tennessee. So that means there's a very strong possibility that the Bentley Law could be coming to your town. Do you see any downside to this? You know how laws work. There's almost always some unintended consequences of a law being passed. I'm trying to be the first one to think through what those downsides could possibly be. We already know there's going to be instances where the indicted drunk driver can't pay the required child support, so that's obvious. That just means it's going to ultimately lead to more incarceration of individuals who are not in jail for the actual drunk driving offense. They're in jail for the inability to pay. I think I'm okay with that part. The part that I'm not fine with, but I can envision happening, is whenever someone puts a financial strain on you, there will always be some individuals who will contemplate eliminating the source of the financial stress. In other words, this bill might indirectly put children's lives in danger, where normally the focus wouldn't be on the children themselves. But this honestly isn't much different than the physical threat most women open themselves up to when they file for child support. So this could very well be a non-issue. I'm just trying to think out loud. Well, this is one of the shortest soapbox news segments we've had in a while. It wasn't a lot to unpack. Just wanting you to weigh in and get your opinion. In this episode, we covered what the Bentleys Law, HB 1834, is. We covered its potential ramifications if enacted, which it looks like it will be. And that's where I'll leave it for now. If you're new around here, our channel is a combination of podcasts, long-form understanding of conservative principles, and soapbox news, videos where you get to get on your soapbox about the latest news of the day. Be sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who should have been here today. We'll see you next time.